Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. We'll begin, inshallah, in just a minute as people are joining, inshallah. Just a moment. Okay. Sorry, really quickly, I have to get my laptop out, or my wife's laptop. Alrighty. Okay. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. Welcome back, everybody, to Perfecting the Prayer. We're going to be doing, inshallah, from here on out, a little bit of a later time because Maghrib prayer here in Dallas, it gets us at about 5, what is it these days? 5:35. So we're going to aim for like a 5:45 or 5:50 or even 6 p.m. Because now that daylight savings hit, we'll be able to shift and keep that time, inshallah, accordingly. Hello, Musa. You have a gift? No. Oh, who's that for me?
No, it's for me. Yeah, let's open it.
You want me to open it?
Yeah.
Okay, come say salam alaikum to everybody.
Salam alaikum.
Show everybody what you got. What do you what do you got?
A rocket.
Who bought this for you?
I did.
You bought it?
Yeah, watch this.
How much? Oh my god, is that blast off?
Yeah, it's a rocket ship.
Oh my gosh. MashaAllah. Yeah. Okay, Musa, let me finish teaching.
Yeah, but I need to open it.
You want me to open it?
Yeah.
Okay, can you have Nanu open it?
I want to open
You want me to open it? Okay, all right, I'll teach while I'm opening, okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're going to continue, inshallah, with where we were last week, inshallah. So we are at the point now where Imam al-Ghazali is giving us the different thoughts and experiences that we should have regarding our humility in prayer. Here, Musa. Here you go, Baba. Musa. I feel like I'm doing. Oh, okay. Nanu needs to cut that with scissors. Okay, Baba doesn't have scissors here. So take that to Nanu and ask her nicely, okay? Can you close the door for me, Baba? Close the door, Musa. Musa. Musa, no, you got to cut it with scissors. It's going to break if you don't. Okay? All right, we'll play after, okay? All right, everybody. Sorry about that. New toys are more important than class sometimes, per Musa James Murphy. Okay, so we were at the point last session where we talked about the different reflections that Imam al-Ghazali is giving us to have during prayer. And he was presenting to us how you should be during the portion of prayer where you're sitting. And I believe we did not get to the point where, no, we did. We got to the point where he said how we should be during our dua, during the sujood, during the dua, during the sujood. And then he mentioned that during the taslim, what should you think during the portion of taslim? So he says, وَقْصِدْ عِنْدِ التَّسْلِيمِ السَّلَامَ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ وَالْحَاضِرِينَ. He says that when you make your salam during prayer, then you should intend that your salam should be upon the malaika, those angels, and also those who are present, those people who are with you. So your salam during your salah is for the angels that are there and also for those who are present in the prayer with you. It's almost like a gathering of people. So you're saying salam. So they're there as well. When we khatm as-salati bihi, that you intend that I have now completed, right? Khatm as-salah, like I've closed it off. I've sealed it up, right? Like when you fill up a jar and you're going to seal it and you want to make sure it's tight and it's done, that's called the khatam, right? The completion of it. So we have sealed it up. We've completed the prayer with this. So it's almost like you imagine that the prayer that you're offering is like a package or a gift that you're sending to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you want it to be the package, you want obviously the contents of the package to be good, but you also want the contents of the package to not only be good, but you want the wrapping itself to also be good, right? You also want the wrapping of the package to be pleasant so that when you send it, right, in this case to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you send the package to him, that it's beautiful. And so you want your taslim also to have that. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ شُكْرَ لِلَّهِ وَسُبْحَانَهُ عَلَى تَوْفِيقِهِ إِيَّاكَ لِإِتْمَامِ هَذِهِ الطَّاعَاتِ. That, and when you finish, you want to, as the Prophet ﷺ did, say astaghfirullah 3 times. You want to pronounce astaghfirullah 3 times. You want to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness 3 times. And then you want to make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thank him that he's allowed you to complete this prayer, right? So even when a person prays, it's interesting in Islam, it's actually incredibly humbling, very empowering at the same time. When you do something good, you feel a sense of pride, but not pride because of you, but pride because Allah has chosen you and guided you to do this good thing, okay? When you really admire somebody, when you look up to someone greatly and they allow you to join them for something, right? Let's say that, for example, you look up to Gordon Ramsay as a chef, or you look up to an incredible, athlete, and they ask you to join them. So LeBron calls you and says, hey, come and shoot some hoops with me. Or Gordon Ramsay says, come and cook with me. Or somebody, an artist that you look up to says, come and produce some art with me. Let's produce some mixed medium art, or let's paint, or let's design together, right? You actually, in that moment, when you respect them, you don't think about yourself, right? So if somebody chooses you and they're inviting you and you look up to them, you actually don't think about you. You think about them. And even though they're choosing you, in that moment, you're grateful to them that they chose you. Now, you might be really good and you might actually have a lot of skill, but still, because of your admiration for them, you're still grateful that they chose you. This is how we view salah. When we perform salah, we obviously realize, okay, I'm the one who stopped myself in that moment. I'm the one who, I'm the one who stopped myself in that moment and prayed. I'm the one who, yeah, sure. But Allah is the one who facilitated that intention even in your heart to begin with. Allah is the one who made that intention even in your heart to begin with, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave you that inspiration. So that's why you thank Allah. You say, oh Allah, thank you for giving me the tawfiq of doing this prayer, okay? And then he says that, and then after that, what you do is وَتَوَهَّمْ أَنَّكَ مُوَدِّعٌ لِصَلَاتِكَ هَذِهِ, that you imagine and envision. I'm not sure why the volume is low. I apologize. I'll probably have to reset my iPad, so I'm sorry for those of you. I'm going to try to speak louder. So you imagine, he says, وَتُوَهَّمْ أَنَّكَ مُوَدِّعٌ لِصَلَاتِكَ هَذِهِ. You imagine that you're bidding farewell to the prayer in this moment. You're bidding farewell. وَأَنَّكَ رُبَّمَا لَا تُعِيشُ لِمِثْلِهَا. And as you're saying assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, you're actually imagining to yourself, رُبَّمَا لَا تُعِيشُ لِمِثْلِهَا. You actually may never come back to this prayer again. You may. What is that?
A rocket ship with an astronaut in it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, show everybody. Show everybody what you got. Got a rocket ship? That's so amazing. Okay, let me finish just this chapter, Baba, and then we'll play together. Okay, I promise we're going to play together right now. Okay? Okay. So then he says that you imagine that this is you bidding farewell and that you might not be alive for another one. Even as the Prophet Muhammad said, وَقَالَ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ لِلَّذِي أَوْصَاهُ, he was advising those people, صَلِّي صَلَاةَ مُوَدِّعٍ, pray this prayer as if it's your final prayer. This is one of the beautiful reminders the Prophet gave before every prayer. Okay? He says, pray it as if it's your final prayer. ثُمَّ أَشْعِرْ, and then after that, let your heart feel ثُمَّ أَشْعِرْ قَلْبَكَ الْوَجَلْ, let your heart feel this dread and this fear, وَالْحَيَاء, and this modesty, مِنِ التَّقْصِيرِ فِي صَلَاةٍ. Reflect and think about what are some things I could have done better in my prayer, and feel a little bit of humility. وَخَفْ أَلَّا تُقْبِلَ صَلَاتُكَ, that, and imagine to yourself, what if my prayer is not accepted? وأن تكون ممقوتا بذنب ظاهر أو باطن. And ask yourself and remind yourself that maybe your prayer might not be accepted because there is something that's poor, that's bad inside of you, whether it's hidden or whether it's apparent. You might have a deficiency. Okay. فترد صلاتك في وجهك وترجو مع ذلك أن يقبلها وبفضله وكرمه. And return then, he says that because of that despicable thing that you have inside of you, فَتَرُدَّ صَلَاتُكَ فِي وَجْهِكَ, that maybe your prayer will be thrown right back at your face. And then he says, once you feel that moment of dread, like, man, I just prayed Maghrib, instead of just popping up and running to the kitchen and eating what you want, or I just finished Isha, let me just pop open my phone and start going through my phone and this and this and this. Instead of just completely losing all of that focus that you developed, all that focus that you had, he says what? He says, وَخِفْ أَلَّا تُقْبِلَ صَلَاتُكَ وَأَن تَكُونَ مَمْقُوتًا بِذَنْبٍ ظَاهِرٍ أَوْ بَاطِنٍ فَتَرُدَّ صَلَاتُكَ فِي وَجْهِكَ. That fear for a moment, ask yourself, what if, because of some sort of hidden defect that I have inside of me, that my prayer wasn't accepted and it's just being thrown right back in my face now by the angels? What if that happens? And feel that dread, right? Like when you turn in an exam and you don't know, is this going to be an A? Is this going to be the grade that I need? وَتَرْجُو مَعَ ذَلِكَ أَن يَقْبِلَهَا بِفَضْلِهِ وَكَرَمِهِ. And at that moment, remind yourself that at that moment, I have to have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that He will accept it. Why? Not because of me, but because of His generosity and His grace. Because of His grace and His generosity. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us that reflection after the prayer. How you end the prayer is super important. How you end the salah is so powerful. That's why he just talked for 2 paragraphs about how to finish the prayer. When you finish the prayer, don't just finish in a rush. You're not running a race. Finish the prayer, take some deep breaths, and think to yourself, okay, I'm concluding and finishing this prayer, this offering to Allah. I hope that He accepts it. What if He doesn't? I need Him to accept it. And renew that hope in your heart. And by His mercy and His grace and His generosity, He will accept it. Inshallah, we'll be continuing on Thursday.